Welcome back to predicting awful, terrible, shitty UFC cards. We're back in the Apex this weekend and we're predicting UFC Fight Night, Costa versus Allen. It's the other way around, but fuck it. And they really are scraping the bottom of the fucking barrel for UFC talent, if you could even say UFC talent. Most of these are scrubs, but yeah. No, let's just get straight into it. On to the first fight of the night. It is Shauna Bannon versus Nicolle Caliari, and it's going to be a great fucking fight when it starts off with Shauna fucking Bannon. Let me just tell you something right now. Firstly, you Sherdog, not Tapology. Tapology is fucking garbage. I was trying to do research for this card, and I literally couldn't because the amount of fucking ads were fucking pathetic. Like, it was mad. Every time I would load on, I would literally scroll and there would be an ad, and I'd scroll again, there would be an ad. It was like every quarter of 2 seconds, bang! There you go. You know what I mean? I've got a fucking ad. And it's not even anything related to MMA either. It's not like fight gear or fucking an event or something. It's fucking woman dresses. What the fuck? I get make your money, but fucking hell. At least make it related to the content, you know what I mean? But, we went on a bit of a tangent there, but yeah, I'm not choosing Shauna Bannon. Shauna Bannon's shit. I don't think she's good. She was getting battered by fucking Pooja Toma, who's terrible. She's also Indian, by the way, so that just tells you everything you need to know about the sport. Nicolle Caliari should win. And if she loses, she's probably just as shit and should be cut from the UFC and all. I've not watched either of these two fight. I'm going off Shauna Bannon's last fight against fucking Pooja Toma, I think it was. And if there was one in between that, I haven't watched it. But yeah, she is shit. Nicolle should win this one. But let's move on to the next fight, which is Daniel Barez versus Louise Gurule. First things first. Louise Gurule probably has the best tattoo in the fucking game right now. Look at his chest tattoo with all the skulls and that. That's pretty fucking cool. But overall, this is a shitty 50-50. Like, a lot of fights are like this, but yeah, this is a 50-50 fight. They're both pretty mid fighters, but I'm gonna go onto the side of Daniel Barez, because I believe Daniel Barez is like this much technically better than Louise Gurule, and Louise Gurule is kind of like, he's kind of like the he's kind of like an overhand spammer after round one. I don't know what he was doing in his last fight. And, I have my criticisms of Daniel Barez in his last fight, but he fought Andre Lima, who's like 11-0 prospect, right? But who did Louise Gurule fight? I've just watched the fucking fight. I can't even remember. It was Alden Correa. And, yeah, he didn't do anything in round one at all. He just kind of stood there. And in round two, he just started overhand spamming. Got the odd takedown now and then. And then Daniel Barez, who isn't the best himself, right? But at least I'm seeing like technical ability there. Like, he lost to Andre Lima, who's like 11-0. Is he 11-0? Am I wrong on that? Oh, he was 11-0 at the time. He is 11-0. I'm not wrong. I'm not off my fucking nuts. But yeah, but it is a close fight. I'm not gonna lie, but I just watched the Victor Aldemar. I don't even know how to say that. The Victor fight before the Andre Lima fight, and he didn't look too bad. He did not look too bad at all. And I know you could argue, well, he got choked out by submission via Andre Lima in round 3. And the first 2 rounds, he was getting battered. He had like one moment of success in the middle of round 1, and then that was it. He was done for. I don't even know what happened in the fucking Filiho fight because I didn't even watch it. So yeah, I'm kind of forced to go with Daniel Barez. Gurule is not that good, and as well, it's like he is powerful, Barez, And it's not like we haven't seen Louise get knocked out by Odie Osborne, who's also kind of mid and trash. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go with Daniel Barez, but I'm not confident in either of these two. It's like a 50-50 because these two are so fucking mid, but like, I just think Daniel Barez is like the tiniest bit better. But let's move on. On to Elise Arddelean versus Polyana Viana. Now, first things first, Polyana Viana, probably the hottest UFC women's fighter, definitely number one. But yeah, she is utter fucking shit at fighting. She cannot fight for shit. I don't even know how she's in the UFC anymore. I think this is just like some sort of fucking paid promotion with the UFC for her OnlyFans. She probably should quit UFC and just continue the OnlyFans. She's probably making good profit off that. Because she's not fucking making good profit at UFC, that's for sure. And if you are subscribed to her OnlyFans, you are a fucking pathetic, weird freak. You need to be shot in the fucking skull. But Elise Arddelean should win. You know, I don't know anything about Elise Arddelean. I don't even know anything about Polyana Viana other than that she's been like dominated in the last couple of matchups and she's kind of cute. So yeah, Louise Alice Arddelean should win this fight, and I hate predicting women's UFC card, but there's only one more left on the card, so thank the Lord above. Right on to the next fight, which is Cody Brundage versus Andre Petroski. Fucking hell. And another 50-50, and this one I really don't fucking know, because Cody Brundage is utter ass. He's now the new Anthony Smith of fighting. He rolls up into a ball, and he cowers away from any sort of violence whatsoever. Doesn't want none of it. But then we've got Andre Petroski on the other hand, who doesn't like violence. He's made that much evidently clear. He likes to smudge fights. He likes to either get smudged. You know what I mean? He just likes to smudge people and or kick people at range. I have a deep hatred towards Andre Petroski. I do not like him. I think he's a sport ruiner of the fucking thing. He needs to be cut from the UFC. He has done absolutely fuck all in the UFC, right? Let me go on his record a sec if you actually like Lord. Sherdog, do not let me down. You have been good so far. Right, it hasn't let me down. You know, don't make Tapology look good. But, yeah, he's beat what? Rodolfo Vieira, Dylan Budker, who's not even in the UFC anymore, Josh Fremd. Yeah, that tells me all you need to know. And other than that, KO'd by Michelle Barrera. Fuck it. Yeah, KO'd by Jacob Malkoon. And then you got fucking decisioned by Edmund Shabazian. And KO'd by Cam Rouston, who I wasn't entirely let up on. I didn't think he was all that good, but I think I'm actually kind of forced to admit now that he's probably a decent prospect in the division now that I've chose against him in about 3 fights and he's won every single time. So yeah, but I don't know who I'm going to choose for this fight. Cody Brundage versus Andre Petroski. They're both shit. Now, if I had a coin in my room, I'd literally flip the fucking thing because I give about amount of fucks about this card as I would give for a piece of paint on the floor. I do not care. But am I gonna go with will Cody Brundage go 11-10-1, or will Andre Petroski go 14-5? Andre Petroski is chinny. Cody Brundage has power. But Cody Brundage faces any sort of adversity in this fight and he's going to crumble. But will he even face adversity? Because it's literally just going to be him getting held against the fucking cage or the floor or getting kicked at range. I'm going to have to go with Petroski. I hate him. I don't like him. I hope he gets knocked out. We're rooting for you, Cody Brundage. You know what to do. But I'm going to have to go with the one without the least losses. Like 5 losses compared to 9 losses and 1 draw or no contest. So yeah, I'm going to have to go with Cody Brundage on this one. On to the next fight, which is Ketlen Veira versus Jacqueline Cavalcanti. I'm gonna go with Ketlen Veira. I've kind of mixed the names together, but I'm gonna go with Ketlen Veira because she is having close fights with decent opponent, and she looks like the opposite gender as a woman, and that is like the best. That is like the best base for MMA as a woman's fighter. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a great start. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, she had a close fight with Norma Dumont, best cat in the sport. Norma Dumont right there, but she's actually a good fighter and all, and she went to a split decision with her. Didn't watch the fight, could have been one of them bullshit ones, but just gonna assume it isn't. But it wouldn't surprise me if Jacqueline Cavalcanti is might get it done. It wouldn't surprise me. It's women's UFC, so yeah, I think most people are choosing Cavalcanti, so underdog pick, underdog pick. Just saying, underdog pick. On to the next fight, which is Tokkos versus Erslan. And I just think Tokkos, I know he's a meme, but I do think that he's just gonna take down Erslan. He got taken down in his last couple of fights. He got out wrestled by Jimmy Crute, and then he got out wrestled by Sterling, that city kickboxing prospect, who, by the way, isn't even a wrestler. He's a kickboxer. And George Tokkos is coming off a submission over Junior Taffer, who's pretty fucking shit, but the grappling's there, isn't it? And it's there, But yeah, I'm not going to overthink this one too much. I know this is like a super quick prediction because this is literally like bottom of the barrel, scraping it for like, they literally must have called these two on like 3 weeks fucking notice and been like, yeah, we need a little more. At the moment, we've only got about 3-ish fights on this card. Would you like to come on? And they were just like, yeah, we need money. Literally like a fucking PFL, Bellator, fucking something even worse than them. What would you even call it? Like fucking, I was gonna say Fury FC, but like Fury FC's having some bangers recently, I thought anyway. But yeah, Tokkos gonna win. On Sherdog it says George Tokkos. I wonder if that's his like real name. But yeah, let's move on to the main card. Right, this is me from the future. I've just missed out a fight on the prelims. Thomas Ganatt versus Artur Minev. And I know Thomas Ganatt actually trains with DC. He's like some wrestler dude. He's 11-0. I know this Artur Minev is 7-0, but I haven't watched either of these two fight, but I'm just thinking, like, if you're training at a high level with DC, you've been wrestling your entire career, even though that pretty much means nothing, but to make this one quick so I don't have to watch tape, I'm going to make this one quick because I'm a lazy, fucking worthless piece of shit, and I'm just going to go with Ganatt via, I don't know, fucking KO or something, submission, but yeah, he's like some big fucking wrestler dude who's like, seems to be pretty fucking decent, but Minev is from like Ukraine, and we know recently through Yaroslav Amosov, these Ukrainians are pretty fucking good, so who knows. On to the next fight, which is Khaos Williams versus Nikolai Veretennikov, and let's just be real a second, right? This is the first fight of the main card. What the fuck? Shoot me now, this should be a fucking early fucking prelim fight. But we will be going with Veretennikov because I just think Veretennikov is such a better fighter when he doesn't have to worry about a takedown, when he doesn't have to worry about any grappling. He just is the better fighter like that. And Khaos Williams, the only bet you've got when choosing Khaos Williams to win is that if he lands some lucky overhand right, which he definitely could land on Veretennikov, but I just think Veretennikov is just going to be on sharp, focused coming into this fight. He's coming off 2 losses, I think. No, was he coming off 2 losses? He might be coming off a few losses, right? I would know, but he just went off of me, so he's coming off a win over Nicolle Price. Makes sense now, actually. But he was coming off a loss before that, a win, and then 2 losses before that. So that's where I got confused at. But yeah. And even in the Nicolle Price fight, I just saw him up against the cage, fucking knee, fucking combinations. It was so fucking good to see. So yeah, we will be going with Veretennikov, because when he doesn't fight a wrestler, he's actually a pretty decent fighter. But yeah, let's move on. Right, on to the next fight, which is Bernardo Sopaj versus Timothy Cuamba. I'm going to go with Bernardo Sopaj. I just think he's just a better fighter, innit? I know I've said this quite a few times on this card, but sometimes there's no need to go in depth into what he does better than his opponent. You can just load up Fight Pass, watch them side by side, and be like, yeah, this fighter's better. That's literally all you're going to do, and that is what Bernardo Sopaj is. You know, he was beating Vinicius Oliveira. I know everybody's saying that. He was beating Vinicius Oliveira. He held him down. He was grappling him. I think he can do the same to Cuamba. And even on the feet, I think he can do the exact fucking same thing. He can do some good damage there. Like, what was it against? Fucking Ricky Tertius fight. The fight where I called him shit, but I actually kind of like his style, even though he looks like he's having fucking like a seizure in his fight sometimes. He struck with him, and he beat him mainly on the feet. And I think he took him down at some point as well in that fight, which is kind of cool. But like, he's good everywhere, well-rounded. So there's a lot more for Timothy Cuamba. The very little that I've watched about Timothy Cuamba, he just strikes. I watched round 1 of his last fight. I hope I'm right, because this card is utter wank. But yeah, let's move on, because I hated doing research for this fight alone. This one right here, because it was like trying to find fucking gold in a fucking fish tank. You're not gonna find gold in a fish tank, are you? But yeah, let's move on to the next fight. On to the next fight, which is Modestas Bukauskas versus Christian Edwards. Now, Edwards is a very late replacement over Bellator, because Bellator is acting again. You know, he's got a new acting gig, so he couldn't make it to the fights. So Christian Edwards has taken over, and Christian Edwards, right? I've got some criticisms of him because he's off the regional scene. He beat Jake Collier. I know. Pretty good guy, isn't he? Really fucking good guy. Bit Jake Collier, but like, he's on a 1-fight winning streak. Like, literally look at this, right? This is his record. He beat some guy called Whitley, who was really shit, and he got held against a fence for the first round. Then he lost to a guy called Luke Fernandez, and I'm pretty sure he's in the UFC. Before then, he fought Jake Collier. And need I remind you that he was on a 4-fight losing streak before getting cut from the UFC itself. Just wanted to remind you about that one. But yeah, I don't think he's any good at all. It is a late replacement. I like the fact he only fought a couple weeks ago, though. A couple months ago. He fought the end of February 2026. This isn't last year, like some regional guys complain about, and then say they've got no fucking money. It's like, if you fought a bit often, maybe you would have a little bit more money. You know what I mean? But Modestas Bukauskas, he's only lost to fucking what was his name? Krylov. Yeah, he's lost to Nita Krylov, and before then, he was on his own little trajectory. He was on his own trajectory in the division, wasn't he? Like, he beat Prachnio, then it was Kakera, who's pretty shit, but like, we won't mention that for this prediction alone. And then you got Ian Kutalaba, and then it was like, kind of like, he beat Kutalaba. It was a split decision. I don't actually remember that being a split decision. I'm kind of just reminding myself it is a split decision. I don't know if that's right. I think Sherdog may have made a mistake there. I don't remember it being a split decision. But then he beat Paul Craig. You know what, actually, he's a bit of a can crusher, actually. Bukauskas is kind of a bit of a can crusher. You know what? I take it back, but like, still, the can crushers he's crushed are still better than the can crushing that Christian Edwards has done. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Modestas Bukauskas. He's on a training camp. This is not a short notice fight. He's been here before. Feature fight of a main card. He doesn't have to worry about much. So yeah. Meanwhile, on for Christian Edwards' side, he has got. This is his first time in this spotlight, and I think this may be an issue for him. But yeah, on to the next fight. On to the next fight, which is Malcolm Wellmaker versus Juan Diaz. And Malcolm Wellmaker's back from his loss to Ethan Ewing, and he's back. I rewatched that fight, and it was a really close fight. I don't think it was like 2-0. I think Ewing clearly won that fight, but it was a close fight. Malcolm Wellmaker had his moments. Ewing had his moments, but he had more of those moments, and no one expected this random regional guy to go in there and beat him, and that probably played a factor in all. But as well as that, he kind of exposed Wellmaker of being like a jab cross merchant, kinda. But Malcolm Wellmaker is still young; he can still improve. And Juan Diaz he's all right, but I wasn't impressed from his Dana White's Contender Series win. I know he got the spinning elbow and it was really cool, but I just wasn't impressed. He was getting hit a lot. I could just so see Malcolm Wellmaker doing whatever he wants in this matchup. And then this is his first debut fight. I just think with that jab, he's going to get countered. I think he's just a step back and counter on basically everything. This is Malcolm Wellmaker. I think he's really fucking good, Malcolm Wellmaker. I just think he ran into the wrong opponent at the wrong time, basically. Prospect versus prospect matchup, even though we didn't know it at the time. But man, yeah, Malcolm Wellmaker's really good as well. He's very fluent, but when you break that fluidity, it takes him a long time to get back into it again. So that could be like sort of a game plan for Malcolm Wellmaker, Juan Diaz. But I wasn't impressed by Juan Diaz. Is that crazy to say? I see everyone saying like this is going to be a great fight. It might be, but I just wasn't impressed by Diaz. But yeah, let's move on to the next fight. Right, we're now on to the co-main event, which is Daniel Santos versus Du Ho Choi. And very selective matchmaking, UFC. He's had, well, after this weekend, he would have had 3 South Koreans. Don't know if that means anything particularly, but just thought it was just something I put out there. But Daniel Santos, is this fight at thingy pounds? Is this a 145 pounds, right? He probably still should be at 135, especially since he looks very fat at 145. But I've been on his Instagram just a second ago. 2 days ago, at UFC Las Vegas, here I come, and the guy's got abs. We are back. The Mini Oliveira is back. So, yeah, he better do his little hair dye, But, like, Mini Oliveira's back, man. We got Mini Oliveira's back. He's got another fucking South Korean sacrifice. And, yeah, he's just going to kill another South Korean. I don't know really I don't know what you want me to really say about this matchup. Like, Willie Cat's going to win. Just how it goes. Should he be at 135? Yes. But now he's got abs. So can we really say that? Will he probably miss weight or be very late on the scale? Probably. Is he the most undisciplined athlete known to fucking man? Kinda, yeah. You're kind of up there with Kelvin Gastelum, but maybe not that bad. But yeah, that we're gonna go with Willie Cat because we love Mini Oliveira. So yeah, and he better win because I've been glazing him all week in the group chat. So the boys group chat, so he better not make me sound like a mad cunt. So yeah, Willie Cat for the W, gonna murder another South Korean. Yeah, not much to say. Right, we're on to the main event now. Arnold Allen versus Mezquel Costa. Now, I hear a lot of whispers in the MMA world, and everyone is choosing Arnold Allen. And so am I, because Arnold Allen is fucking goated. The only people he has lost to in the division, right? Gene Silver Evloev, which, let's be real, if you rewatch that, he actually won that fight. So Gene Silver and Max Holloway are his only losses, right? And you could even argue the Gene Silver fight should have went to him, right? I wouldn't. I thought Gene Silver won that fight, but there's his only losses, right? And he had a close fight with both of them, right? He went 5 rounds with Max Holloway, one of the best volume fighters in the division, right? So when people are like, oh, he's only been to a 5-rounder a few times in his career, well, we know he can do 5 rounds because he just did 5 rounds with one of the best 5-round fighters a couple years back. Will it be different because it's a 5-rounder at an Apex and, he hasn't done it in a while? Maybe, but I'm more worried for Costa going 5 rounds than I am for Arddelean, who's already been 5 rounds, with Max Holloway, the best 5-round fighter, which, by the way, is now a 155er. And he didn't even, he got dropped, but he didn't get knocked out. Some more points as well is just that Costa is good. I want to make that clear. I do not hate Costa. I actually think he's one of the better prospects in the division. He gets finishes. He's very fun. Knocked out Dan Ige. Knocked out that other guy. But he had a really close fight against Julian Erosa, right? And I saw with Julian Erosa that he struggled with boxing. Some of the boxing combinations from Julian Erosa. Like, for example, when Costa would use the body kick, head kick combination he always uses, switches up the level. Julian Erosa goes to the body, right? And not only that, right? I also think that will be part of his game plan. Arddelean's game plan will be going to the body here. Because I don't know if you've looked at Costa's body, but it's just an unmissable target. It's like he is built weirdly, very fucking weirdly. He even fights weirdly too. But as well as that, right? Another body as well. But just while I'm on this point, right? He has some of the best footwork in the division. I don't think he's going to get caught with a head kick, right? I think he might block a head kick and then counter with a body strike. And then maybe that body strike will then start combinating up to the head. But I just think Arddelean is like almost like a veteran of the sport. Like, he's been fighting since, I can't even remember when, but I remember his first fight in the UFC wasn't super long ago, but it wasn't recent. It wasn't recent. When was his first fight in the UFC? You know what? It was 2015. Never mind. He is a veteran of the sport. He actually is a veteran of the sport. And he's active too, which Arddelean isn't usually that active. He usually fights fucking once every 2 years, which is very terrifying. It's why I was terrified for Arddelean versus Gene Silver. He did better than I expected, because I think I predicted a 2nd round knockout from Gene Silver, and he didn't get knocked out. And in fact, he was doing really well. But the only part I worry with Arddelean is sometimes he lets the fight escape him. Sometimes he does, right? Because the Evloev fight, it was a close fight, but he should have won, right? And obviously, if Evloev didn't have OV at the end of his name, right, he wouldn't be in the position he is. All those split decisions, there wouldn't be split decisions anymore. They would be unanimous decisions for whoever the fuck he's fighting. But, Russians, they have to keep this, like, unstoppable sort of persona they'll keep on. But it's fading now. Sean Strickland just battered Chimaev a couple of fucking, like, a year ago. Not even a year ago, but like a year ago, Umar got battered by Merab. But like, even like some like prelim ones, like Hiraguchi just fucking embarrassed fucking Tagira Lembekov in front of Khabib and made Khabib cry. Exactly what Merab did to Umar. So yeah, and I swear down, I'm looking at fights. I think Ian Gary could beat Islam Makhachev. I'm not joking, but that's a different video, right? But, well, what was I even talking about? I've lost my fucking head, right? He lets fights escape him, which is my issue, right? This is where I was up to, right? That Gene Silver fight, I do feel like he could have pushed a bit more. I do feel like Arddelean could have very much pushed more. As well as we can't even say he's chinny anymore. He looks like he would be chinny, but he's not. He was getting rocked quite a bit, but he's not chinny. He was taking good fucking clean shots of Gene Silver. He's not a chinny guy. So, yeah. And I think this fight is going to go to a decision. I don't think Arddelean has the particular power to end Mezquel Costa, but maybe if he doesn't make it to the 5 rounds and he starts gassing out in round 3, maybe, or round 4, maybe we might actually see a vintage Arddelean knockout, like the Dan Hooker one from years ago. You know, is that his only knockout in the UFC? There must be some more. He had some like knockout over bums, but like I'm talking like notable people. Yeah, his only knockout is over fucking Dan Hooker, and then he had that injury TKO over Cavalcanti. But man, people are really choosing Mezquel Costa. Like, I do think Mezquel Costa is good, right? But everything is in favour of Arddelean. Yeah, he's coming off a loss over Gene Silver. Probably, after Evloev, he's the next title contender? You know? And even Arddelean himself could probably give Volkanovski problems. Let's be real. Footwork. You know, he's a very smart fighter, especially on the feet. He is an elite striker. I used to say he's not an elite striker. He is an elite striker. You know? I think Arddelean's going to dust fucking Mezquel Costa up for fucking 4 rounds. I think it's going to be a bit tricky in round 1 with the range and stuff. The minute he gets that going, he's going to start dusting him up. You know? I don't think that's a wild take. I think a lot of people are choosing Arddelean as well for the same reasons, that he's like a veteran of the sport. But, yeah, and I think Arddelean losing or like getting finished, it would be the worst thing imaginable. Has Arddelean ever been finished in his career? Decision, loss. And he lost to some random Polish guy donkeys ago. Yeah, and that was even decision as well. So he has not lost via like a brutal finish before. So I'm not even worried about that. Maybe this could be the first one, though. You know, this hasn't been the first time. Jeff Neal had never been finished before Carlos Prates, but Mezquel Costa, quite frankly, does not hit like Prates. Prates is a different beast. We saw that against JDM. But yeah, I think that we're going to end the video here. We're still trying to make it to 100 subscribers by the end of 2026. So if you could help me out with that, would be greatly appreciated. And I still have my Twitter. You can follow me on there. I'm being more active on there, trolling a bit more. Yeah, I have to be very careful because I've already been suspended once. But yeah, and also I live in the UK, so any slightly harsh joke, I'm going to be in the back of a fucking cop car. So yeah. But yeah, follow me on Twitter. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, watch the whole video. It will boost it in the algorithm. But yeah, see you later.